Hey everyone. Hey Coach Marsh, Sloot, and Angel. Hope you guys are having a good day. Also, Sloot, congratulations to you on your baby. That is wonderful, awesome news.
Thank you.
My question to you is for Angel. Angel, I wanted to ask you. Obviously, we saw you had a really long off season. You did unrivaled, but I wanted to ask you, what did you learn about yourself in this off season, and how did you take it and implement it into year two?
Yeah, I think the best thing for me this off season was just being around vets, just being able to see how they operate in the off season and what it's like and taking care of their body. Obviously, I ended my season with an injury and then getting back and coming to Rival. Just being around them was just the best thing. Just soaking up so much information and even just being in the facility, just doing the recovery and just doing having gym time, being able to get better and just having so much accessibility. So I was really thrilled and I was like really wanting to have that moment and I didn't take it for granted.
And just a quick follow up for Sloot. Sloot, what's most impressed you about working with Angel?
Yeah, I think how she approaches the game. She doesn't approach it like a rookie. Her competitiveness. I knew she was competitive from playing against her, but I don't think I knew the extent of it, and how she competes even at practice and drills and everything. I think that, it took me one day to realize like, oh yeah, we're cut from the same cloth and we're going to get along really well.
All right, thanks. We'll turn next to Andrew of CBS. Andrew, go ahead.
Oh,
Thanks very much, Ron. Andrew Jones, supposed to be the lead network, but that's okay in terms of that. Want to ask you first, Andrew, what's the best thing that you learned about working with Tyler as well as you, Courtney? What's the best thing that you learned working with Tyler so far in your first few weeks with him?
yeah, just trusting the process. Also the expectations are really high. Coming from last year, I didn't know what to expect, and now there's a standard. Coming in every day and just bringing energy and working hard. Every drill, every rep, everybody's just going hard every day, and that there's an expectation because everybody wants to get better. And being around a group that just wants each other to be better in every area and every aspect, I think that's really fun to be around. And being around competitive players, obviously, Sloop was just saying like we want to win every drill. Everything is competition. We want to keep going until the end, until we somebody wins. So it's just been a lot of fun for me.
All right, thanks. Jordan, you're up. Jordan.
Hello, Jordan from Television Sports. Hope you all are doing well today. First, I want to start by congrats to Swoop on the baby and happy belated birthday, Angel. So, my first question is for Angel. We talk about, how you're a double-double machine, but the playmaking is what is one thing I think doesn't get talked about. So, has that been something you've worked on during the off season?
No, it's something I've kind of always had. I've kind of been a sponge with every team I've been on, just being able to do whatever is best for the team. Knowing Sloot was out, coach kind of emphasized on me trying to help bring the ball down and kind of like start and initiating the offense. And that was something we kind of talked about in this offseason as well. Just kind of unlocking that. Obviously, everybody knows I'm a great rebounder, but just doing way more than that. Obviously, rebounds. They win games and they separate us from good to great. But I have to bring more and just knowing like the better your younger players get is the better your team gets. And me and Camilla, I think this offseason was just great just being able to develop and get better at things that we worked on this offseason.
And just a quick follow-up for Sloot, if I may, just talk about what led you, what drew you back to coming to Chicago to play for the franchise once again.
Yeah, I think I made the decision for me and of course my family. Obviously we knew that we had a daughter on the way, and so the timing was great in terms of just my off-court life, my on-court, just being back in the franchise that drafted me, knowing that the trust that Tyler had in me, all of these things kind of just resulted in me being back, and I couldn't be happier just to be back in a Chicago Sky uniform.
Thank you, ladies.
All right, thanks. Next up, Sean. Sean, go ahead.
Hi, ladies. Sean from W Swish. First of all, salute, congratulations on the baby. My question's for Angel. I was driving around Chicago and I actually saw like three Angel Reese jerseys because the weather's been really nice. So entering year two, what's it mean to you to have the Reese Foundation and the type of work and influence in the community that you have?
Yeah, I mean, drawing into Chicago, it's a community base. The culture here obviously is a winning culture and a lot of great things in the city. I think I was just telling somebody else. Like when people come to the games, they may come see me, but they become a fan of somebody else as well. And that's what I love. Like you don't just see my jersey, you see my teammate's jersey as well. And I think so many different people can attach to a story which with each teammate. So that's something I really love. Obviously, it's great for people to have my jersey, but they can also buy others too, and by coming to the games.
A quick follow-up, Sloot. I know it's fresh and new, but how do you think motherhood's going to affect that competitive nature and that drive in you, other than being a little extra tired?
Yeah, some days I might be a little crankier than others. I don't know. I'll keep you updated on that, but I don't think it's going to change much. Obviously, I have new purpose. I've always have been a really driven player. That's what's kind of kept me in the league as long as I have. That competitive spirit will never leave. But I'm really excited to be able to play in front of my daughter. She won't remember this at all, but I will.
Congratulations.
All
Thank you.
right, thanks. Next up, Colin. Colin, go ahead.
Hi, Colin Salo, Front Office Sports. Courtney, again, congratulations. So my question is kind of for both for Courtney and for Angel. So over the past year or so, the Sky have announced a new practice facility, and they've also announced two games that are going to be played at United Center, which is the biggest capacity NBA game, NBA arena. I'm curious, Courtney, having been kind of a legend in this organization. How does it feel to know that the Sky are building these things? And looking back at your time here, is this something you kind of foresaw as you were, growing with the team? And then for Angel, as the younger player, I'm curious what you think the next steps are for the team to continue to grow as an organization.
I think, it's obviously means a lot to me because I've seen it kind of been built from the ground up, in a way, and I've known from the inside of the Chicago Sky. Obviously, Chicago has always had a reputation of being the cheap team or whatever it may be, but I've known from the inside that that isn't the case. They just want to do it the right way. They want to do it their way, and I think it's the facility happening is coming at the right time. They're taking their time on it, making sure it's perfect for what we need, how it's going to represent the Chicago Sky. And so I'm really excited that now that I'm coming back, I get to see this kind of develop and happened and just know where it all started and where we're going.
Yeah, I think for me, it just kind of shows a testament kind of the players that we brought in. Obviously, they could have went to organizations that already had things, but you can see they want to come here and grit it out. And it has to start like Slu said from the gutter. And when we see the light shine, it's gonna be a great feeling. But I'm just happy to be here with these women that are willing to dial in and do it from the bottom and start and going up. So I'm really excited for the practice facility. It's going to be great. It's going to be as long as we have a hoop. For me, it's a hoop and a goal. I'm just happy to be where we are right now. But obviously, it's going to just continue to be better. And everybody's going to want to come to Chicago, but I don't know if they're going to be able to get in.
All right, thanks.
Speak
Christina, you're up. Christina.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? First of all, I want to say congrats to Sloop on the baby, and the question is for Angel. Towards the end of last year, you told Rihanna you wanted to work with her, so I was wondering what would it mean to you if you could kind of collab with Rihanna, like on the Savage Fenty side of things, and or to have her as a guest on your podcast.
It would be great. Yeah.
Also, I just wanted to kind of say I know you're into manifestation and just manifesting things, so I kind of wanted to pour into you a little bit. We see Angel scoring, we see Angel rebounding, we see the playmaking. So, if you haven't already manifested this for yourself, I am pouring into you and manifesting that you are able to get a triple double this season, and
Oh,
or just at least in your career.
thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
All right, Sarah, you're up. Sarah.
Hi, ladies. Thanks so much for your time this afternoon. At the draft press conference last month, League Commissioner Kathy Engelbert said that one of the league's priorities for the season is tackling online abuse and harassment of WNBA players, knowing it's been an issue and that the league is pouring resources into this. I wanted to ask each of you, on an individual level, like what, if any, approach you take to dealing with online harassment and what, if anything, you would like to see the league do to better police this year.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
First, I think that we can all agree that there's no place in this league or really anywhere for online harassment or otherwise. And so I think that you know, I don't know what the exact measurements are. That's up to the league, but I think that the safety of the players should and always remain priority. And so they should feel safe. We should feel safe no matter where, where we go, or who we interact with. And so I think that, as the league grows, it's only going to heighten what that level of security means, online or in person for each of our players. And so putting that at the forefront and making sure that our players feel secure and safe, at all times is certainly the priority.
All right, thanks. We'll turn next to Chico. Chico, go ahead.
Chico Nishun from the Score in Toronto. This question is for Angel. I know they're in the preseason. Coach March has have you kind of handling the ball and kind of initiating some of the offense. Does that kind of take you back to your roots a bit when you were at St. Francis and you were at the top ranked wing player in high school and you were kind of doing those things as well?
Yeah, just kind of doing whatever, like I said, for the team, whatever my team needs me to do. If it's down low at night, at that night, or being up top and just being able to handle the ball. Obviously, Sloot was down, and being able to watch Sloot, and being able to take some things from her. I was able to watch some things from my rival with Chelsea. So I was able to have two great point guards around me. So I've kind of learned a couple things, but just continuing to unlock the things that I've had before and just gaining confidence and having great coaches and teammates to be supportive has just been great for me.
All right, thanks. Next to Allison. Allison, go ahead.
Hi, Court. Hi, Tyler, and hi, Angel. Court, I have seen the pictures of your baby online. She is beautiful. So
Yeah.
congratulations. I had a question. In a previous interview, Jeff had talked a lot about the chemistry on the team, and obviously these are whole new different players. Tell me how you guys feel the chemistry is developing in this season so far. I know it's been a short time.
Yeah, I would say in the short amount of time that we've been together, the chemistry is um, going really well. It's much further along than I expected. I think if you look at the all of these players that we have, a lot of them have played together. Maybe not all on Chicago Sky, but in some different way they play together. So that I think kind of makes it a little bit of a seamless transition. And I think the most important thing is everyone that is here is really happy to be here, and this is where they want to be, and they're just willing to make this work, however that looks. And I think that's the type of chemistry that we're really wanting to build is making sure everybody that wants to be here because of the Chicago Sky and compete and play together. And so to have the right people in place is really important. The on-court chemistry will come, but just having all the right pieces in place is a really great place to start.
All right, Rashad, you're up. Rashad.
Hey, Angel, Rashad Milligan from The Advocate. I wanted to ask you about, obviously the Angel Reese Foundation's partnership with the Magic Johnson Foundation and the financial literacy program that you're bringing to your alma mater in Baltimore. Why financial literacy?
I think that's something that needs to be emphasized on. Obviously, growing up, you never know when things can happen. And my grandma always kind of emphasized always have extra penny in the bank, and you never know when a rainy day can happen. So I always kind of was big on saving money. And then when you kind of get money, you really don't know what to do with it all at once, especially with NIL. A lot of our money was given to us in a lump sum, and we don't know what to do. And just a lot of times in school, they don't teach you about taxes. Buying a home, they don't teach you about appraisals and stuff like that. So just me being able to collab with Magic and our foundations together and just learning things and growing. I'm still learning things and growing as I go too. So I think it's really important so some people don't make the same mistakes that I have.
All
Thanks.
right, thank you. Next up, Jim. Jim, go ahead.
Hi, my question is for Angel. Angel, the comparisons keep coming in terms of Tim Duncan and the rebounding feats in terms of that. But I'm just curious about your footwork. Can you take us through some of the speed drills that you do on a daily basis in terms of mastering your footwork? Because your footwork is exceptional in around the ring.
I kind of do what my coaches tell me to do. Um, I'm like right now just working on my patience around the basket and just being patient and staying calm and staying course. Me and Dave, and actually Courtney, obviously, Courtney was a great player, but Dave has done a great job with me and Camilla working around the basket and just taking our time around the basket. I think that my biggest thing going into year two is watching more film and just seeing where my footwork is and which ways I could have gone or a different way I could have gone. But I think that was the biggest thing for me in the off season, just getting my footwork right and just the patience around the basket and being out on Rival. I was able to work with Lisa as well, which was great.
All right, Blake.
Hey, I got a question for both you ladies. Angel, what are your expectations for the upcoming season, and how do you plan to contribute to the team's success going into your sophomore year?
Just being a sponge, doing whatever my teammates need me to do. Obviously, it's a different system now, and we're just taking our time and being patient. And obviously, I'm learning, and we're all learning. But I know always I can rely on the energy. Everybody's going to work hard every single day, and that's something I'm super excited for. And obviously, the feeling of the playoffs, like I want to be able to play postseason and just being able to play and continue to play throughout then, and just being able to be healthy. So I'm looking forward to that.
And a question for Sloot. How do you think your experience and skills will benefit this team in particular? And what do you think about the team's overall environment and camaraderie of this team in particular?
I think so far it's great. It's been a really great atmosphere, really positive, high energy, and like I said, everybody wants to be here. We want to compete. We want this thing to work, and I think that's the first step. With my experience, I know what it takes to win in this league, and I think that's what makes Tyler really great is he knows what it takes to win. And so, that's what we're focused. We're all here focused on winning, making this thing look the best way it can. But ultimately, like Angel said, being a playoff team competing for championships.
Thanks, Sloot.
Next to Andrew. Andrew, go ahead.
Just a question for Coach Marsh. Coach, I want to ask you, what's your favorite thing that you learned about Courtney and Angel during your time with them so far? And what's your favorite thing to do in Chicago besides hopefully having a title winning team?
I don't know if it's what I've learned, but more what has been kind of emphasized since getting to know them more, and that's their toughness and competitiveness. It's something that you can obviously see scouting against them when I was with Las Vegas, but getting to work with them every day, there's a fire in each of them that you can't teach, and so. For me to see it in someone who's been around it for as long as Courtney has, and then someone who is, hasn't even reached their prime yet in Angel, like to see those two kind of combine and join forces and how it kind of fuels our team is something that's invaluable for me in my first year, and it's something that we're gonna hang our hat on, like toughness and physicality. Like I say it to our team all the time, like that's going to be our identity. And teams are going to know when we come into town and when they come into our building, and that's something that they're going to have to see. And so, if we can hang our hats on that, it should give us a chance to compete and to win night after night. And so, we want that to be a calling card for us. And the second part of your question, I'm a big baseball fan. So if I'm not in the gym, I'm usually at a baseball game, whether it's in Chicago or on the road. So
You gonna catch a White Sox game with the Pope, since Pope Leo is a big White Sox fan, apparently.
I'll be at a ton of White Sox games. I'll be at a ton of Cubs games. So yeah, either one. Favorite team?
Right. Next up, Michael.
Save me.
We have time for one last one.
What's going on,
Yep.
guys?
Michael will have last question. Michael.
Oh, awesome. Okay, Michael with Billboard. My question's for Sloot and Angel. Coach, feel free to chime in as well. I just want to know what you think is going to be the song of the summer for you guys, or if you have a personal anthem entering the season.
Song of the season.
I'm going with "Set It Off" by Boosie.
I'm with it.
I've never heard that song. But I'm with it too.
Might be a slip coming out the Boosie "Set It Off."
All right. With that, I want to thank you.
Thank you.
Tyler, Courtney, Angel, thanks so much. Tristan, thanks for setting it up. To our media, thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at 4 o'clock for our session with Seattle. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.